In the shadows of the underworld, not only do male-dominated criminal syndicates prevail, but there are also female gangs that have established their territories.
Sometimes women have to take over, like in the war.
These formidable groups exert influence and instill fear, despite not always receiving the same level of recognition as their male counterparts.
Shut up and listen!
Have you lost your mind?
I said shut up!
Yet their reach, ruthlessness, and significant roles within the world of crime are undeniable. In this video, we will explore 10 of the most dangerous female gangs, delving into their histories, activities, and the impact they have made. Number 10. Aryan Sisterhood. Inside the walls of the American prisons where racial tensions ran high and rival gangs clashed, a powerful sisterhood emerged from the shadows. Known as the Aryan Sisterhood, they were the female counterpart to the infamous Aryan Brotherhood. Their story is one of suspense and danger, filled with illicit activities and a relentless pursuit of supremacy. White female inmates, feeling the need for mutual protection against rival ethnic gangs, banded together under the inspiration and guidance of the Aryan Brotherhood. They forged their identity around white supremacist ideologies, fiercely advocating for the dominance and preservation of the white race. Inside the prison walls, their criminal activities spanned a vast spectrum, engaging in illicit drug trade, extortion, and even assassinations for hire. They maintained a stronghold that demanded recognition and respect. Violent acts against rival gang members ensured their supremacy remained unchallenged within the correctional system. Their operations extended far beyond the confines of the prison walls. Drug trafficking became their primary operation, sourcing narcotics from both inside and outside the prison system. With the robust network provided by their ties to the Aryan Brotherhood, their operations flowed smoothly and reached far and wide. But their influence didn't stop there. Outside of prison, members of the Aryan Sisterhood were implicated in a multitude of crimes, from daring bank robberies to sophisticated drug operations. In a sense, they became an extension of the male-dominated gang, serving as couriers, enforcers, and even heads of external operations. Their twisted ideological beliefs also led them to commit hate crimes against ethnic minorities, leaving a trail of fear and devastation in their wake. Over the years, their reputation as a formidable and dangerous group was solidified. Numerous members were convicted of brutal murders, further cementing their notoriety. Their power base remained predominantly within American prisons, establishing strongholds in various state and federal correctional facilities, particularly in the West and Midwest. Their presence also extended to women's prisons across the Southwest. Their alliance with the Aryan Brotherhood granted them protection and facilitated their criminal endeavors both inside and outside the prison walls. While their reach outside of prison might not be as extensive as some other gangs, their ties to various white supremacist groups provided them with a broader platform to propagate their ideologies and engage in larger-scale criminal activities. The Aryan Sisterhood, a force to be reckoned with, continued to exert its influence and maintain its territory within the American prison system, leaving a trail of chaos and destruction in their wake. Number 9. The Black Widows. Up next is the Black Widow Gang. The story of this gang could make one grow cold feet understanding the vulnerability of widows. But what led to the formation of this gang? Were they widows or suddenly became one just to perpetuate their evil operands? Originating in the 1980s, this gang was composed of women who became infamous for their involvement in a series of sensationalized murder cases. Who were their targets? Their husbands. These cunning women orchestrated the deaths of their spouses, driven by the desire to collect hefty life insurance payouts or inherit their estates. What made the Black Widow Gang of the 1980s so intriguing was their pattern of multiple marriages and the mysterious deaths that followed. They captivated the public's attention, becoming subjects of fascination and media frenzy. These female criminals possessed an uncanny ability to manipulate and deceive, using their charm and wits to attract and marry wealthy men, only to later plot and execute their murders. Their motives were often rooted in financial gain and the insatiable desire to inherit their victims' assets. Life insurance policies became instrumental in their wicked schemes. Notable members of this Black Widow gang during the 1980s included women like Marjorie Deal Armstrong and Pamela Smart. Their cases garnered extensive media coverage, inspiring numerous books, articles, and documentaries. Marjorie Deal Armstrong, for instance, was involved in a plot to kill her boyfriend, Robert Thomas, with the intention of cashing in on his life insurance policy. Her case became further entangled with her participation in the notorious pizza bomber bank heist in Erie, Pennsylvania. Pamela Smart, on the other hand, was convicted of conspiring with her teenage lover, William Flynn, to murder her husband, Greg Smart. This case received widespread publicity and even served as the inspiration for the 1995 film To Die For, starring Nicole Kidman. The Black Widow gang of the 1980s embodied the darkest aspects of human nature, where manipulation and greed drove individuals to commit heinous crimes. The sensationalism surrounding these cases ignited public fascination and sparked discussions about the complexities of criminal psychology and the influence of financial incentives in pushing individuals to resort to murder. It's important to acknowledge that while these cases were highly publicized and have become part of true crime lore, they represent only a subset of criminal activity involving women during that era. Criminal behavior is diverse, and not all women involved in criminal activities fit the profile of the Black Widow gang. Nevertheless, these cases have left a lasting impact on discussions surrounding crime, gender, and the criminal justice system, shedding light on the intricate intersections within society's underbelly. Number 8. 18th Street Gang. The 18th Street Gang, which originated in the 1960s in Los Angeles, is one of the most prominent gangs in the city. Originally formed by Mexican immigrants as a means of self-protection against other Chicano gangs, the gang grew in size and complexity over time. As the 18th Street Gang expanded, it became evident that a distinct female faction was necessary. The women of the 18th Street Gang, often referred to as 18s, organized themselves and became both supporters and frontline members of the gang. They became deeply involved in the gang's extensive web of criminal activities. The criminality associated with the female faction of the 18th Street Gang is diverse and deeply entrenched. One of the primary sources of revenue and power for the female members is the drug trade. They are known to control significant drug supply chains, ranging from street-level distribution to higher-level trafficking operations. Additionally, these women have been involved in violent crime, carrying out retaliatory attacks against rival gangs, particularly the notorious Mara Salvatrucha, MS-13, and leading to cycles of violence. Extortion is another avenue of crime where female members of the 18th Street Gang are actively involved. They often impose a form of taxation on local businesses, regardless of size, and resort to violence when businesses refuse to pay. This further solidifies the gang's reputation and instills fear in the community. Furthermore, the women of the 18th Street Gang have engaged in activities such as human trafficking and prostitution. Their involvement ranges from managing these operations to being victims themselves, highlighting the complex dynamics within the gang structure. While the roots of the 18th Street Gang are deeply embedded in Los Angeles, its influence extends far beyond the city. The female faction, integral to the gang's operations, has made its presence felt in several American cities across the East Coast and Midwest. Additionally, due to the deportation of numerous gang members in the late 20th century, the gang has established a presence in Central American countries such as El Salvador and Honduras. The female faction plays a crucial role in expanding the gang's operations in these regions, adapting to both familiar criminal activities and new opportunities unique to the area. The female faction of the 18th Street Gang represents the adaptability and resilience of women in the criminal underworld. While they share the overall goals and ethos of the broader gang, their experiences and challenges are distinct. They must navigate the expectations of adhering to traditional gender roles while actively participating in a brutal world of crime. Their story is not just one of criminality, but also one of survival and assertion in a world that often marginalizes them. Number 7. Female Latin Kings. The Latin Kings and Las Flacas are two distinct criminal organizations with different origins and geographical focuses. The Latin Kings, emerging from Chicago in the 1940s, are one of the oldest and most established Hispanic gangs in the United States. While they initially started as a male-centric organization to overcome racial prejudice and uplift the Latinx community, but gradually, they adopted criminal activities. Over time, women became involved in the Latin Kings, and they are sometimes referred to as Latin Queens. The female Latin Kings are formidable members in their own right. Involved in various criminal activities, they play roles in the drug trade, including street-level dealing and mid-tier distribution, with a focus on narcotics such as cocaine and heroin. They also participate in violent crimes, such as gang warfare and enforcer roles, ensuring loyalty within the gang and seeking revenge on rivals or traitors. Financial crimes, including fraud, counterfeiting, and extortion, are other areas where the female Latin Kings are involved. Their influence primarily remains in Chicago, but has expanded to other states, with networks extending internationally to Latin American countries like Puerto Rico and Mexico. On the other hand, Las Flacas refers to young women working for Mexican drug cartels, most notably the Zetas. They emerged prominently in the 2000s and gained attention due to their striking appearance and fashionable attire. Las Flacas defies traditional roles for women in organized crime and is involved in various aspects of cartel operations. They are trained as sicarios, female hitwomen, and carry out assassinations and kidnappings targeting rival cartel members, law enforcement officials, and sometimes civilians caught in the crossfire. Las Flacas is also involved in the drug trade, acting as couriers to transport narcotics across borders. Money laundering is another area where they operate, using their networks and leveraging legitimate businesses to launder illicit funds. Las Flacas use social media platforms to showcase their lifestyles filled with luxury, weapons, and power, serving as propaganda tools to attract younger recruits and promote the dominance of their respective cartels. They primarily operate in northeastern Mexico, particularly in states like Tamaulipas and Nuevo León, but their presence extends to border areas with the United States and other countries in Central America. It's important to note that both the Latin Kings and Las Flacas are criminal organizations involved in illegal activities, and their actions have significant negative impacts on the communities and regions where they operate. Number 6. Hells Bells. The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club has been around since the 1940s and is well known for its association with motorcycle gangs and rebellious biker culture. When you think of motorcycle gangs, the iconic Hells Angels immediately come to mind. Although the club is mostly made up of men, women have always been a part of the Hells Angels, even though they don't hold official full-patch roles. People sometimes refer to these women as Hells Bells, although they aren't an official faction within the club. The women who are part of the Hells Angels play important roles in supporting the club's activities. They're known for their loyalty, love, and sometimes involvement in illegal activities. Just like the male members, these women engage in various criminal activities. One area where they're involved is drug trafficking, particularly methamphetamine and cocaine. They often transport these drugs between different points of distribution, using the fact that they attract less suspicion compared to male members. Some of the Hells Bells have even taken part in the production process, especially when it comes to meth labs, which have a long-standing connection to outlaw biker culture. While violent crimes are usually handled by the male members, the women also get involved in altercations, especially when rival motorcycle clubs or groups challenge the Hells Angels' dominance. They play important roles in planning logistics, and sometimes act as informants and spies, gathering information in rival territories. Another area where the Hells Bells contribute is in the world of stolen goods. They're actively involved in the theft and distribution of stolen motorcycle parts and even entire bikes. There's a vast underground network dedicated to stolen motorcycles and their components, and these women play key roles in this illicit trade. They're also involved in other forms of organized theft and the fencing of stolen goods, which means selling them illegally. Their involvement is crucial to the broader criminal activities of the Hells Angels. In terms of territory, the influence of the Hells Bells aligns with that of the Hells Angels. The club has chapters all over the world, from its origins in California to places like Europe, Australia, and South America. Wherever there's a Hells Angels chapter, you can expect to find these supportive women. Although their specific roles may vary based on the region, their core purpose remains the same: supporting and furthering the interest of the club. In today's subscribers pick, we are drawn into the glaring pixels of this image, showing the intense faces of notorious female gang members. With each gang member's face etched into your memory, their tattoos and haunting visages become the embodiment of a mind-blowing reality. These women, with their peculiar appearances and fierce determination, have pushed the boundaries of what we thought we knew about criminality, specially reserved for the male only. You won't believe the heists, the clandestine drug deals, and the ruthless turf wars that have left cities trembling because of these groups. Their unparalleled cunning, resourcefulness, and unwavering determination have propelled them to the top of the criminal hierarchy. You may be asking what fueled their insatiable thirst for power, respect, and control. Well, your answer is just a click away. You'll get to find out more by joining the conversation in the comments section. Don't forget to tell us which of these groups and their operations raised your eyebrows the most and what you feel about them. Number 5. The Bloods. The Bloods gang, often referred to as Blood ETS or Lady Bloods, includes women who occupy important but less visible roles within the notorious street gang. The Bloods are known for their red attire, violent tendencies, and rivalry with the Crips, another notorious female gang. While the gang is primarily male-dominated, women have played crucial roles within the organization. Female members of the Bloods can be involved in various aspects of the gang's activities, although their roles often differ from their male counterparts. Many Blood ETS are engaged in support functions, handling logistics, communication, and financial aspects of the gang's operations. These roles are critical for the gang's survival as they ensure the smooth execution of various criminal activities. Blood ETS can also act as intermediaries, facilitating communication and coordination between gang members. This can include passing on messages and updates. Their ability to operate behind the scenes is essential in a clandestine criminal organization like the Bloods. Some female members take on more active roles, particularly in drug distribution and minor criminal operations. While they may not engage in violence to the same extent as male members, they can still play a significant role in street-level drug dealing and contribute to the gang's economic interests. Recruitment efforts often involve Blood ETS, and they may be responsible for identifying and bringing new members into the gang. Female members can also participate in enforcing discipline within the organization, helping maintain order and loyalty among members. Despite their contributions, female members of the Bloods, like their male counterparts, face the same risks and legal consequences. Law enforcement agencies have targeted the Bloods for their involvement in violent crime, drug trafficking, and other criminal activities. It's important to understand that the level of involvement and specific roles of female members within the Bloods can vary. Each chapter, also known as a set, may have different dynamics and expectations for its female members. The presence of women in the Bloods underscores the complexity of gang culture. Female members, though often less visible, are integral to the gang's operations, even if they do not always receive the same recognition as their male counterparts. Efforts have been made to address the challenges posed by gangs like the Bloods, and to offer alternative pathways to individuals, both male and female, who may be at risk of involvement in criminal activities. Understanding the roles of women within the Bloods is part of a broader discussion on gang culture and the impact it has on communities and law enforcement efforts. Number 4. The Vixens. The Vixens are the women associated with the Vagos Motorcycle Club, which is an outlaw biker group that started in California back in the 1960s. The club is all about the rebellious spirit, brotherhood, and the sound of roaring engines. Even though it's mostly a male-dominated world, the Vixens have found their place and made their mark within the club. The Vixens are usually partners or relatives of club members, or they're just really into the biker lifestyle themselves. They've always been the backbone of the club's social scene, helping out with organizing events, offering support, and sticking by the members through all the risks and challenges that come with the outlaw life. But the Vixens aren't just there to back things up from the sidelines. They actively get involved in various illegal activities, just like the guys. They've been known to traffic drugs, especially stuff like methamphetamine and marijuana. Some of them work as couriers, delivering the goods, while others oversee secret production operations. It's a big part of how the club makes money. The Vixens also have a hand in the illegal arms trade and dealing with stolen motorcycle parts. They know the right connections and have built up a network both within and outside the club, which helps them take advantage of the black market for bike components and firearms. It's a lucrative business opportunity that they're not afraid to explore. When it comes to territorial disputes and clashes with rival biker gangs, the Vixens play a role there too. They gather information, come up with strategies, and sometimes even get directly involved in acts of violence. They're willing to fight to protect the Vagos and their way of life when it's under threat. The influence and reach of the Vixens closely align with that of the Vagos Motorcycle Club. Starting in California, the club has expanded its presence to other states like Nevada, Oregon, and Hawaii. They haven't stopped there either. They've established chapters in places like Mexico, and the Vixens have been crucial in setting up and strengthening these new fronts. It's important to remember that these descriptions are based on general perceptions and stereotypes associated with outlaw biker culture. Not all female members of the Vagos Motorcycle Club may be involved in criminal activities, and their level of participation can vary. Number 3. Outlaws. The Outlaws Motorcycle Club, OMC, is one of the most notorious outlaw biker gangs in the United States. Born on the outskirts of Chicago, Illinois in the 1930s, the OMC has grown exponentially over the years, and alongside this growth, the women associated with the Outlaws have emerged as key figures, leaving an indelible mark on the club's history and operations. In its early days, the OMC was primarily a tight-knit brotherhood of war veterans and motorcycle enthusiasts. Women's involvement at that time was mostly limited to social and supportive roles. However, as time went on, these women began to assert themselves more prominently within the club's activities, becoming integral to the inner workings of the Outlaws. These women took charge of organizing events and managing clubhouses, ensuring the smooth functioning of the OMC's extensive infrastructure. Their contributions were invaluable, as they navigated the intricate dynamics of the club, ensuring its cohesion and success. But it doesn't end there. The criminal activities of the Outlaws are multifaceted, and the women's faction has been deeply involved in these illicit operations. They have become essential cogs in the wheels of the OMC's drug empire, working as couriers, distributors, and overseers of production units, ensuring a steady flow of drugs and income for the club. As if that wasn't enough, the women of the OMC actively participated in the illegal arms trade and extortion rackets, two other pillars of the club's operations. With their strategic prowess and unwavering determination, they took on various roles, ranging from logistics and planning to direct involvement in negotiations and enforcement. Territorial disputes and gang rivalries were ever-present dangers in the world of outlaw motorcycle gangs, and the women of the OMC have not shied away from these conflicts. They gather intelligence on rival gangs, strategize responses, and when necessary, directly engage in altercations. Their loyalty to the club knows no bounds, and they fearlessly defend their turf, proving themselves to be formidable adversaries to anyone who dares challenge the Outlaws. Speaking of territory, the influence of the OMC's women's faction extends wherever the Outlaws' emblem flies. In addition to their strongholds in the American Midwest, the Outlaws and their female members have established chapters across the United States, spanning from the sun-soaked shores of Florida to the rugged landscapes of the Pacific Northwest. The club's international chapters in Europe, Asia, and Australia further demonstrate the extensive reach and influence of the Outlaws, as well as the integral roles played by their women. The story of the women of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club is one of resilience, adaptability, and unwavering loyalty. In a dangerous and volatile world, they have emerged as formidable players, defying expectations and leaving an indelible mark on the annals of organized crime. From their roots in Chicago to their global influence, the women of the OMC have proven time and again that they are a force to be reckoned with. Number 2. Pink Panthers. Here is another shocking female gang that ravaged the street, but you'll wonder at what makes them more different than other groups. Let's tell you about the Pink Panther gang. Once upon a time, this gang sent shockwaves through the streets, leaving everyone in awe of their audacity and unique approach. Well, unlike many criminal organizations, the Pink Panthers had a singular focus: stealing valuable jewelry. They steered clear of drug trafficking and other typical criminal activities. Their international reputation for pulling off these daring heists had earned them the name Pink Panthers, inspired by a legendary robbery they executed in London back in 2003. In a move reminiscent of the famous Pink Panther film series, they cunningly concealed a stolen diamond inside a jar of face cream. It was a stroke of genius that captured the imagination of the public and added to their mystique. What made the Pink Panther gang truly remarkable was their global reach. Their operations spanned across various countries, including Switzerland, France, Monaco, and the United Arab Emirates. Their members possessed remarkable linguistic skills, effortlessly blending into different cultures and environments. When it came to planning their heists, the Pink Panthers leave no stone unturned. Meticulous planning and swift execution were their trademarks. They employed various tactics, from using vehicles to crash through jewelry store windows to orchestrating distractions that diverted the attention of security personnel. Once they had secured their precious loot, they vanished into thin air, leaving authorities scratching their heads and making it nearly impossible to track them down. Law enforcement agencies around the world have collaborated tirelessly to apprehend members of the Pink Panther gang. However, their elusive nature has made it an uphill battle. Though some members have been caught and brought to justice, the organization continues to operate, posing a significant threat to the jewelry industry. Over the years, the Pink Panthers have made off with millions of dollars worth of precious jewels, cementing their reputation as audacious criminals. Their notoriety and media attention have only added to their captivating story, making them a fascinating chapter in the annals of international crime. So the next time you hear about a high-profile jewelry heist that leaves everyone dumbfounded, you might find yourself wondering if the Pink Panthers are behind it. Imagining them meticulously planning their next move, leaving authorities bewildered, is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. Their daring exploits and uncanny ability to elude capture continue to captivate both law enforcement and the public alike. The legend of the Pink Panthers lives on, forever etched in the history of audacious criminals. Number 1. The Queen Pins. Now, let's dive into the captivating story of the Queen Pins, a group of women who orchestrated a cunning coupon scam that shook the state of Arizona. While the film Queen Pins may have portrayed their actions in a humorous light, the truth behind their scheme is far from amusing. Robin Ramirez, the mastermind behind the whole operation, was a 40-year-old woman when she finally got caught. Her partners in crime, Marilyn Johnson and Amy Fountain, were 54 and 42 years old, respectively. These women played pivotal roles in the scam, and let's assure you it was a highly lucrative venture. But their journey from ordinary women to coupon scammers is a roller coaster ride you won't believe. The coupon scam they ran was no ordinary hustle. It captured the attention of the masses by offering unbelievable deals that seemed too good to be true. Johnson and Fountain took charge of packaging and shipping the orders, but their efforts to deceive people went even further. Fountain went to great lengths, adding hologram stickers to the counterfeit coupons to give them an air of authenticity. They were leaving no stone unturned in their quest to deceive. Now, here's where the story takes an intriguing turn. The fake coupons were distributed through multiple eBay accounts and their own secretive website called the Savvy Shopper site, accessible to a select few. This website even carried a discreet warning against openly sharing the source of the coupons. It was as if they were determined to keep their scam well hidden, covertly navigating the world of fraudulent deals. Robin Ramirez, as the mastermind, played a pivotal role in orchestrating the entire operation. Her strategic mind and cunning tactics ensured the scam operated smoothly. However, their story doesn't end with a comedic punchline. The consequences they faced were far from amusing. The Queen Pins had to face hefty financial penalties, and, as a stark reminder of their crimes, they spent a considerable amount of time behind bars. It's a sobering reminder that crime, regardless of its cleverness or entertainment value, carries significant repercussions. Their story became a cautionary tale for anyone toying with the idea of indulging in fraudulent activities. It serves as a stark reminder that honesty and integrity are always the better path to take. So, as we peel back the layers of this captivating narrative, let us be reminded that the Queen Pin's story is not one to be glorified or trivialized. It serves as a testament to the importance of ethical choices and the far-reaching impact of our actions. Let us learn from their mistakes and strive to walk the path of righteousness, knowing that in the end, it is honesty and integrity that stand the test of time. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.